Dirty Sports Podcast. I said, welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast with Andy Ruther and Joe Prano. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, with my co-host from Port Hueneme, California, Joey No Chill Prano.
Hello, Andy.
First off, hello. Second off, I played the wrong intro.
You've done this like basically every episode since we got an intro.
No, this is the final version. I didn't play this final version.
Every episode we've had since we got the intro, we've played the intro twice.
I'm not playing it twice tonight.
All right. So
Sorry.
So the final intro will air for next episode.
No, we aired the final intro last episode.
Oh, and then you played the wrong one this time.
That's what I'm saying. It's on me.
Gotcha.
I played the
Gotcha.
wrong one.
Gotcha. DJ Sizzle.
Yeah, because remember DJ Sizzle's face creeps in there.
Yeah.
That wasn't this one.
Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you. That's probably why one of the reasons I played the wrong intro. I'm on.
You're on little sleep because you have your second child walks among us, lays among us. Doesn't really walk among us, nor even crawl among us. She just lays among us.
She does nothing, dude.
She does nothing. Now, how much was the decision to name your child MJ you trolling me?
I didn't even think about that.
Sends me his baby pic last night. Little MJ. This is just little MJ sleeping. What do you mean, MJ?
Well, she's MJR.
Yeah.
Molly June.
Molly June. She got the MJ killer instinct.
Yeah, she does, man. She's got the MJ killer instinct. That's funny though. I didn't think about that. I really didn't.
I was like, this guy, he knows no ends when it comes to trolling his podcast partner. He's like, Her name's Molly June. We're going to call her MJ. Also, maybe Kobe. We're not sure. We haven't decided yet.
Yeah. A close third was Saquon. I was going to call her Saquon.
No, too soon. Way too soon. So Molly June.
Yeah, Molly June.
Where did June come from?
That is her grandmother's name.
Okay. And how about Molly? Where'd Molly come from besides drugs?
Yeah. I said, man, we're gonna name her Molly. I hope she doesn't take any of it.
Yeah.
That'd be bad.
Molly will be old news by the time she's taking drugs.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like naming a kid, Mary Jane in the 80s. They're like, Mary Jane. Then by the time the kid was 18, they're like, we just call it Chiba now.
Yeah, there wasn't. I think she just liked it. I actually could have gone with June for first name, but I think that was her mom said that because her grandma's not with us, but I think that would have been tough for her mom. So we went with that for the middle and
tough for her mom to because that's her mom's name.
Yeah, exactly.
Just too much of a reminder.
You know how that is for some people.
Yeah.
So, which I understand. So yeah, we went with Molly June and rest in peace to Georgia, which she was pushing so hard.
Georgia.
And I was like, Georgia June, we don't live in Tuscaloosa. I don't.
Yeah. Georgia June is aggressive.
That's like deep south. Like,
yeah.
That's like
Georgia June gives hand jobs to guys at the Grove.
Georgia June, and then has a Confederate flag on her pickup truck.
Yeah.
When she leaves.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's some deep south shit. And I
Yeah.
told her that, and I don't know. I mean, but in the end, she didn't have a name when she was born. So we went through a whole thing. But yeah, man, I made it to be, I'm a two-time dad here. Who would have thunk? Who would have
Two-time
thunk it,
girl
Mr.
dad.
Prano? Yeah, I'm rocking the girl dad thing. I mean, that like really hit me coming home today from the hospital. I was like, man, all these girls definitely gonna have to get another male dog at some point in the future.
Just to even it out.
I mean, you need some sort of testosterone.
Yeah.
I made the joke there. I was like, God forbid you guys end up cycling your periods together at some point. Like, RIP my life.
Oh yeah.
2 teenage girls and a mom and their rag together. Oh my God. Kill me now.
Yeah.
But no, I told Prano, I said, let's bang this out. There was too much.
It's too much going on.
There's too much going on, Prano.
Are you watching any of this?
I got it on in the background.
I mean, the Joe Prano. By the way, this is a Joe Prano signature. No one else. I've never heard anybody else with this theory. This is a Joe Prano original. This isn't just like me taking something and tweaking it. This is an original Joe Prano football theory that has once again proven correct in this game. Notre Dame came out with some kind of first drive. They first drive was like 18 play, 10-minute first drive, march down the field, get in there, got smacking their chest. They have not done a goddamn thing on offense since. Sometimes you can't spend 10 days just doing your little fucking choreographed ballet dance of what your first drive is going to look like and not do any other practice. I've been on those football teams where it's like, we're going to do this. And then you're running it, you're walking it through before the game. And you're like, cool. Let's say we're up 7-0. Then what? Just bodied.
You think they're just it's all going to the opening drive call plays?
I mean, the opening drive was like, it was truly like, it was like
oh man, this is ugly.
It was like the Copa shot in Goodfellas. Like everybody's moving in the exact right direction. It's all on a fucking steady cam. You're like, this is amazing. And then the rest of it's been a nightmare since.
Yeah, you do wonder because you do see that. I mean, look at who was it? The Broncos. Didn't they come out and put up 7 on the Bills last week? And you're like, oh, we got ourselves a game here. And then just like this game, just complete blowout. I'm shocked. Look, obviously, I don't follow college football, but when I saw the line on this, just looking off lines, I said 8.5. I said, no way, Ohio State. This is gonna be a game. No way they cover. Now, I know it was early in the season, but I remember I saw Ohio State live. Again, I don't follow it. I went to the Nebraska game, and they were like, I think 24-point favorite, something big, and I bet against them, and I think they only won by like 10. Like it was a pretty good game. So I know, again, it's early. The funny part is all the Ohio State fans were calling for their coach's head.
Yeah.
After they lost to Michigan. I mean, you and I talk about this. It's just like how many of these guys are going to be in the NFL?
Right.
At a certain point, it's like, especially these skill players, like just go through the league. We've done it. I mean, I don't know who's put out more wide receivers in the last 25 years, like stud wide receivers. I mean, it's just at a certain point, like how do you compete against that in a football game when you're just that deep? I mean, Burrow is like the prime example. Like, guys, Burrow to transfer because he was like the third stringer.
Yeah.
Like that's the depth they have. But yeah, man.
That's been 2025's Dirty Sports College Football Talk. Join us again in early January 2026 when we'll pick back up with college football talk.
But look, I mean, I think we both agree we don't follow it. But I'll have to look at the TV. You got a 7 and 8 seed playing for the title.
Yeah.
So maybe you should have gone to 12 earlier. You see it here in the. I guess who do we got in the NFL? You got a 6, a 1, a 2, and a 2. So I guess it's not as evened out, but We gotta talk about these games, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, where do you want to start? What order we go? We start at the beginning, or we go backwards, or you pick a game.
Well, yeah, let's start at the beginning. Let's start
at the beginning
because we're gonna have a lot to say about the Chiefs game, and I know
Sure.
we're gonna have a lot to say about.
Probably the least to say about the Chiefs game, but let's get it on.
Well, I just want to talk about. Well, I mean, look, that was classic. Is that not a classic Chiefs? The last how many years?
Yeah.
Win.
Listen,
I mean, that's what that was.
I've had, you had your Detroit Lions don't win a playoff game take, and great job on that.
Appreciate
But
it.
I've had, including my first drive, theory. I've thrown out a couple of things recently, and not to pat myself on the back too much, but like I tweeted during the game, all of a sudden, Travis Kelce has his biggest game of the whole season. Biggest game of the whole season. So we have a little Shaq. We have a little Shaq during the three-peat. They basically took the regular season off. I mean, I couldn't be more certain that my theory of they were holding back a ton during the regular season, that the goal is to win a Super Bowl, that even if they have to go on the road, they don't care. Show less. Put as little on tape as you possibly can while still having home games. And here we go. To me, the Chiefs are the team to beat right now.
100%.
And the refs.
I mean, it's so. You don't ask people like that about the refs. We talk about storylines. The argument, right, is that I guess it makes it more appealing, the three-peat, the storyline. As if the thought of Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen playing for a Super Bowl isn't as appealing, or you know what I'm saying? Like
also,
that's a great storyline too.
Also, so everybody hates the Chiefs, but them being in the Super Bowl is a good storyline.
It's true.
Everybody hates the Chiefs, but the league wants them there. This goes back to the Patriots thing. Everybody's out to get us. It's like, here's the truth. The truth is, refs generally suck. And you guys just notice because because you're rooting against the Chiefs and it's happening to the Chiefs and it's whatever, and it feels like they're bailing out the Chiefs. I mean, the delusion I saw from people who are like Pats fans.
Don't
and
even get me
whatever.
started, dude.
I'm like, you guys, you're first the whole Super Bowl dynasty on a fraudulent call. Then the cheating. Then the whatever. Then even the tap of Tom Brady's face mask in the Chiefs in the first AFC Championship game against the Chiefs. All that. It's happened a million times. When you hate a team, it seems like they're going to have to get. Now, when it comes to Patrick Mahomes and the late hit and stuff, yeah, he's getting the star call. Tom Brady got the star call. Peyton Manning got the star call. Michael Jordan got the star call. I tweeted that the other day. I don't understand the people who hate the Chiefs dynasty but love the Bulls dynasty. Only one of the stars of those teams was a gigantic piece of shit who got every call. Like, they get star calls. There's a clip of Magic Johnson not touching him on the photo shoot. Don't get too close to Mike. They're going to call a foul. This is what happens when every star in history, with the exception of LeBron James and Shaquille O'Neal, because they're just too goddamn dominant, get the call.
Well, it's like the Chiefs thing has gone next level. At first, it was just cheddar dick dorks who don't know football, don't watch football, Reddit people, social media people, and I was on my phone a lot Saturday, looking at the trends and stuff during that. Joe, it's all mainstream now. Like all these.
And I'm not saying that there's not some truth to this call was bad, that call is bad. It has nothing to do with that.
Agreed. All the call guys, refs are just. Here's the thing. Watch the later game, Commanders Lions. Like the blatant missed or the face mask call, which it was like it was so bad, which the Lions desperately needed that to keep a drive going. Like the refs are just shitty.
Yeah.
They're just shitty.
And then there's like, during the NBA playoffs, everybody like, oh, Jalen Brunson's a foul baiter and whatever. And I'm like, you're just saying he's good at drawing fouls. What he's doing isn't illegal. You're just saying you don't like that he's crafty. You cannot like that Patrick Mahomes is going to go to the sideline and stop. And then you're put in a position where it's like, do I hit him and take the chance of getting a penalty? Or do I let him go and maybe give him a chance to get him an extra couple of yards? Yeah, he crafted the fuck out of you. He just Jalen Brunsoned you at the sideline. Pick your poison.
So, and here's my thing about that. I agree. There was definitely a lot of bad calls during the Chiefs Texans game. But to say that like they're doing this on purpose, guys, they gave up 8 sacks. They gave up an opening kick return to easily give up 3 points. They had a lot of what
was the turnover margin?
Well, I was just going to bring that up. You guys know why the Chiefs always win? You know why they always win? It's not rocket science. And for some reason, no one talks about this. You know why they always win? You just said it. Guess how many interceptions Patrick Mahomes? I looked it up today. Guess how many interceptions he's thrown in 2 full playoff seasons and now in 1 game?
0.
1. He's thrown 1 interception in his last, what would it be? 8 or 9 playoff games. Maybe less than that. But you see my point. They don't turn the ball over. They don't turn. Dude,
I've said it before and I'll say it again. And it's the one thing. Listen, again, there was a roughing the passer that was not a good call. There was the late hit out of bounds. That was he flopped it. The shiftiness of the set, you just got baited and you lost. But the bottom line is the NFL is built on parity. It's why every season, it's why they sell out every game in the whole league. They sell out every game. It's because on any given Sunday, anybody can win. It's what the whole model is built on. Rigging NFL games essentially undoes everything they've ever built. And if you think it happens, you're a fucking clown.
Yeah, totally agree. You're a clown. And that's why the league is what it is. We joke about it. We mock
That's
fans
not why the
year.
NBA is what it is. That's not why Major League Baseball it is. But that's why the NFL is what it is. Parity, 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 parity.
That's what exactly.
They wish there was 55 different Super Bowl champions.
And again, from like a marketing or storyline appeal, you guys don't think it'd be, again, you don't think it'd be so appealing if some of these guys who haven't had a chance to compete are playing in their first Super Bowl, like a Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, or take just a few years ago when the Bengals beat the Chiefs. You guys don't think that's that's not an eye-popping storyline? Well, no one thought the Bengals would be the fucking Bengals are playing their like those are, no matter who plays.
When's the last time you heard ratings were down for the Super Bowl?
Exactly. Now, I'm sure they vary year to year. Some years might have a couple more million. Some years might have a couple less million. But at the end of the day, it's all interesting. Look at the Final Four teams.
Yeah.
2 are small markets. 1, nobody gave a chance entering the year, the Commanders. It's like, it's parity.
Yeah. And again, I think we'll talk about Ravens, Bills, we'll talk about, Eagles, Rams, we'll talk about all things, and we'll certainly talk about it in Lions, Commanders. Did a team lose the turnover battle and win the game this week? I mean,
I looked it up. So every team that won the turnover battle won. and the Texans Chiefs. I don't think anybody had a turnover. So it was split. But you're right. So there are 3 games.
And the Texans missed what? 2 field goals or whatever, and
a field goal, an extra point, and then they spotted them 3 points to start the game with the kickoff return.
Yeah.
So there's 7 points right there.
And how many did they score? 12?
Yeah, something like that. We got a worked up. I'm gonna play it real quick. We got a worked up. Who's he going as today? Justin Wood or Randy Ruther? I don't know. Who's he going as to the call? Who's he going as? I think he's going as Randy Ruther on this one.
Boys, Randy Ruther calling in. Driving to Beaumont, California to do a show because I've made it. But anyway, not to brag. Look, I was driving the bandwagon of the Chiefs are getting all the calls today. I was pissed watching that. But after watching whatever the fuck that was on 4th and 10, you lose all credibility of the game. The Texans had no business to even be in that game. If that's what you're going to do, 4th and 10, the ball on that part of the field, your defense is playing okay. You don't even call a timeout to get something set up. Get fucked.
Yeah. The rushed snap, the end of the play clock, rushed snap, 12 points scored. We've gone at the refs, dude. You can go back to the fucking Saints-Rams debacle.
Yeah.
We go at the refs. When you blow it, you blow it. But this Chiefs this they're rigging it for the Chiefs thing is dumb, and I'm just you guys have made me root for the Chiefs.
Well, it's so funny you said that. That's my next point. Guys, I'm rooting for the Chiefs now just to see your tears on social media.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for the Chiefs. You think it's a coincidence for 7 straight years? 7 straight years they've been in the AFC Championship. 7 straight years. Just a coincidence? Just so happened that it was the first year Patrick Mahomes became the official starter. It's just 7 straight years.
They haven't been gotten caught cheating. They certainly haven't gotten caught cheating twice.
It's a coincidence that the greatest quarterback, arguably, that we've seen ever, paired with the greatest defensive coordinator, paired with, a very great all-time coach. You and I could probably even debate that on Andy Reid. But my point is, you think it's a coincidence they're suddenly just winning all these Super Bowls in a Hall of Fame all-time tight end? You guys, it's just a coincidence. They're fixing it. Like I have to agree with Randy. Get fucked. You're stupid. You're dumb. And I'll say one thing else. If you think it's fixed, why are you watching? Why are you watching?
And again, what I said, and again, what I said, Michael Jordan got all the calls, went to 6 straight titles. In the years he played, everybody fucking loved him. Piece of shit, getting calls, playing boring basketball. We loved it. I'm now rooting for the Chiefs. I mean, listen, I'm also rooting for the Bills because they're a great story too. But like, that's certainly rooting for. I mean, I can rank the teams I'm rooting for, but it's clearly the AFC.
Well, we agree. Like, it's like we both agree. Like, the Chiefs are the team to beat. They're the team to beat this week. They're the team to beat in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Now I'm not saying they're definitely going to win this week. I'm just saying, to me, I'll go ahead and say I'm going to pick the Chiefs. No surprise here. I'm picking the Chiefs to beat the Bills. Sorry. Love Josh Allen, like you said. Love the Bills. Love the story. Love the fans. Cool. It's the Chiefs at home in the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
Sorry. Just they've lost 2 of those at home. It's like now can they lose at home? Sure. But this notion, again, that's become like mainstream with like former player. Like, dude, you literally went. Let's talk about the Texans real quick. Their coach, their players, guys like Mixon. That's your fucking excuse? You are pathetic. You gave up 8 sacks.
Yeah.
8. You ain't winning games when you give up 8 sacks. I don't care if it's
or scoring 12 points.
Yeah. I don't care whether it's a Pop Warner game or a NFL division playoff game. You're rarely winning. And again, like I said, they don't turn the ball over. Patrick Mahomes is like, cool, I don't have to throw for 300 yards. I'm going to play mistake-free football, and you guys are going to make mistakes. And I agree with you. And I got to sit here and look at Taylor Swift with Caitlin Clark and another PR stunt, and I'm still rooting for the damn Chiefs because of all you guys being whiners. What were they talking about? Side note, what the hell were they talking about? Who set that up?
You're not getting me on this one. I have too many things to be worked up about tonight.
Okay.
I'm not getting worked up about Taylor Swift. Not today.
Okay.
Not today.
Not today. Let's move on. Lions Commanders. Fun one.
Let's start on the positive. Jaden Daniels is fucking legit.
Best rookie I've ever seen at quarterback.
Hard to argue he's not.
Who? I
mean Patrick Mahomes.
I'm saying pure rookie though.
Right.
Nothing against Mahomes, and I'm not saying that they would have. We don't know. He's out a year.
Yeah.
Pure rookie. Never seen anyone like Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Cool, calm, just chilling. Obviously, they've been talking about this on the sideline. I have never seen anyone play like this as a rookie, and I can't tell you how much I enjoy the way he plays the game.
It's painful for me to know that he is in our division for a long time. This is how I felt when RG3 came into the league times 50. I'm like, this is bad. This is not good. And what's funny is, and we'll get to it, but Jaden Daniels is, I'm calling it, this is my new phrase, QB dysmorphia. It's like body dysmorphia, but for your QB. Jaden Daniels is what Eagles fans think Jalen Hurts is. When they look at Jalen Hurts, they see Jaden Daniels.
Interesting. I like this. QB dysmorphia.
Yeah. That's what they think happens every week. It's like shallow Hal. They see Jaden Daniels, but they really have fat Gwyneth Paltrow. But anyway, we'll get there.
I like it.
But Jaden Daniels is fucking legit. They're running him, but they're not running him that much. They don't run him like that. It's not a need to run basis. They did pull one out late that I was like, why are you doing that, guys? This game's pretty much over.
I agree.
Don't get him fucking hit now. It's terrifying as an NFC East guy, but my God, is he good? Dude, he Zach Ertz is unlocked. Terry McLaurin, he is just, the amount of points they scored in that game against the team that was the 1 seed in the NFC. They just went into Detroit and just lit them the fuck up.
Dude, it's amazing. It's like a 7-on, and I think one of the announcers even said that. It's like a 7-on-7 drill.
Yeah. But also somebody sent me I think it was a dirt ball that sent it to me. Let me pull it up.
I think I got this too.
The analytical breakdown of.
Yeah, I got this.
Yeah.
Did Alex?
Jaden Daniels excelled in the most difficult passing situations. 12 for 16 against the blitz for 191 and a touchdown. 10 for 16 with 172 yards over 2.5 seconds. And a touchdown. Under pressure, 7 for 9, 109 yards. Daniels was sacked 0 times. And it's and when you look at it, 22 for 31, 299, 2 touches. It's the perfect stat line if you were hoping to win a football game. If you threw for 345, some shit is in question. If you threw for 375, some shit. You're not throwing for 375 if you're dominating a team. Because what are you throwing for 375 and 3/4 and then hitting the rest button? 22 for 31 for 299, 2 touchdowns is like the fucking perfect stat line. It's infuriating. He's in the NFC East, but he's fucking legit.
He's the real deal. And look, some guys, I know you agree with this. Some guys are just good court. Like Kingsbury's calling the right. He's pushing the right buttons, man. He's calling the right plays.
But also, he's making incredible. Like he's just reading the fucking field well. I don't know if you know, he does the VR. He's on the VR headset all day.
I didn't know that.
And he goes through his progressions on VR in double time. So it's like everything's happening at double speed. So then when he's in the game, it's literally slowed down. That is next level shit.
And look, obviously he won a Heisman at LSU. But I don't think anybody saw, because people were like, oh, you know, I'll stick up for the Bears in this regard. Everybody's like, the Bears passed on them for Caleb Williams. Like, dude, everybody said take Caleb Williams. Come on.
Yeah.
Everybody. I'm not going to fault a team for taking Caleb Williams, who everybody said was a generational QB. But he's a real fucking deal, man. He's legit. And we all know they got a great chance of winning that game.
And on the flip side,
oh boy. I mean, Jared Goff is exactly who we've said he was for the last 5 years, 6 years.
I remember where I was when I said it. I was at the Oxnard Levity Live. It was, I think, Sunday night football. Lions, Texans. I believe it was Sunday night football.
What Sunday night?
Jared Goff had 5 picks.
They had 4 or 5.
I think he had 5?
They won the game still.
Right. But I said, you guys can go back. If that's who Jared Goff is still against playoff defenses, that shit is a wrap. That shit's a wrap. Oh, Jared Goff's fucking legit. Jared Goff's completing 75% of Jared Goff's completing 87% of his passes. Cool. And in that game, he completed 6. I think he had 5 picks and a fumble, or 4 picks and a fumble. He had half a dozen turnovers in one game.
Well, look, both of us, we didn't even need that. Because we knew, we lived in LA. We saw him live. I went to a bunch of Rams games back in the day. But more importantly, his former head coach straight up said, we went to a Super Bowl. My team gave up 13 points, but we could only score 3. I can't win. Sean McVay, one of the best coaches in the game, straight up said, without saying it, actions speak louder than words.
Can't do it. Won't do it.
And he traded him for Matthew Stafford, and they win a chip the next year.
But even in the game, I tweeted it, and then it happened like within minutes. He threw the TD to Laporto, and on that drive, he overthrew a guy who hauled in an insane catch down the sideline. I was like, oh. And they're like, what a fucking play. And I was like, he overthrew him by 7 yards. And then on the Laporto TD, he missed him again. He reached out one hand and pulled it in. And I was like, Jared Goff has 60 yards and a TD on throws he missed on that drive. Next drive, overthrow, pick 6.
It was a bad pick 6. So I'm watching that game, and obviously Goff's having a bad game, and then Bridgewater comes in after Goff gets lit up in that pick 6, and they score right away when Bridgewater's in there. And I literally said, leave Bridgewater in there. Because you have dynamic players at the skill positions. If you're the Lions, you need a QB who doesn't make mistakes. Because your guys are going to find ways to get open. Your guys are going to find ways to get those yards after the catch.
I don't know if it's an athletic article or if it's a website or whatever, but like, and they did this during the baseball season with some fucking story too. But the story that on Twitter, on social media, it's one of those like sponsored stories for a website or whatever. And it's Jared Goff walked into Dan Campbell's office thinking he was going to get benched.
It's Athletic.
And now
I
he's a
think.
franchise QB. Should have benched him. They trot this story out. It's like this sponsored post. Every time I see it, I go, what? Talk about your all-time backfires.
I mean, look, guys, again, you had Sean McVay. Not to mention, this is after they gave him that deal. And he just said, I can't do it.
Yeah.
And I know it sucks to hear this, Lions fans. But you thought you guys were gonna be the team that he was gonna win? Like, he couldn't win it with Sean McVay, but he's gonna win with this young guru offensive coordinator. Who I'm just gonna say this about Ben Johnson. I don't know how he's gonna end up, and I don't know how it's gonna play out in Chicago. But I'll just say this, dude. The gimmicky shit at a certain point, you just gotta be able. We're talking playoff football. You gotta be able to run the ball, and obviously the Lions had a great run game this year. But you gotta be able to run the ball, play some fucking defense. And I'm sure you agree. Like, that interception was so bad on the, again, turnovers. Like, dude, at a certain point, the Patriots or some of these teams, they might run a trick play over the years. One. The Lions, like, you can't be doing Madden type shit every game. It's going to catch up
Now
with
the
you.
Bears got that offensive guru that they needed to unlock their young QB.
I don't like the hire.
I've said, how many times have I fucking said it? I like you believe in your quarterback. I like to go get a defensive QB.
And I agree. Get the defense in line. Trust your young quarterback.
You got a project, then you can go get the whatever. You know who? Oh, you know, kind of quarterback Ben Johnson would be really good with. A Jared Goff type.
I mean, look, dude, it sucks for Lions fans, obviously, to go 15-2.
I wish I had actual less fucks to give.
But
I wish I could find a fuck and then be like, and just put it in a drawer and still not give.
you let me finish. That's what I'm saying. But it's funny as hell. I have to pull up. I just want you guys to know.
You go to Lions Reddit? Is that where you're at?
Oh yeah. I just want you guys to know my situation here, and I'll just tease it, and because I don't, we're covering all shit on Dirty Sports. I plan on fully on the Andy Ruther show this week. I'm going to fully go into the birth, the name, all that stuff. Just a quick tease. Like Isla was, or Jesus, I'm already calling the wrong kid. Oh, I'm already doing this. Molly was in the NICU. We did not want that, but she went to NICU, and it was a whole thing for 24 hours. The reason I'm bringing that up is because Molly is in the NICU Saturday, so she can't be in our room, obviously. So I'm going on some dives, is my point. So like this game ends, and I'm just like, I got my phone.
They're like, you just had a real rough day with your daughter being born, and she's gonna be in the NICU, and you guys should get some rest. Ruth's like, I'm gonna stay with. He's like, where's that Magic Mind Green concentration jail? I'm gonna get me on some Lions Reddit.
Oh man!
Don't tempt me with a good time.
Literally, Brittany's, because Brittany, that's a major surgery when you have a C-section. She's in her whatever hospital bed, and I'm on like the bullshit hospital couch. And you're right. I got my phone. All the lights are off in the room, and I'm like, oh, what are Lions fans saying here? And here was the one I just wanted to pull one, bro. Dude, the Reddit fan bases are insane. So it says, should I just share my screen?
Yeah, or read it.
Yeah. I'll just share my screen because I think this one has a visual. Okay. All right, you got it? Can you see it? Or should I make it the full screen? The title is LMAO NFL, and it says after the Ravens game ended, so this one was actually posted last night. I went back to the Lions fan Reddit last night. I couldn't get enough. After the Ravens game ended, I saw Vivid Seat updated the Super Bowl tickets and passes to show Chiefs and Eagles colors. Made me laugh because in no way does this dissuade me that the NFL is trying to rig Chiefs Eagles again. So I take solace in knowing the Lions could have won. The Lions never could have won this year because the NFL just didn't want it to happen. Let's all hope Roger wants the Lions to win next year, though. This person's not trolling, and it has a screenshot.
Can I give you a weird? Can I give you a weird take from me?
Yeah, go for it.
I think he's right, and I think that this conspiracy goes back further than you might think. And as far as the Lions, I'm a big conspiracy guy. And how do we get to certain things with the CIA and JFK and 9/11 and the military-industrial complex? I think this goes all the way back to the Jared Goff's birth and Roger Goodell and Paul Tagliabue before him and all the people, all the little puppet masters making it so that one day one of the biggest boners of all time could end up as the quarterback of the Lions to make sure that no matter what, they can never win the Super Bowl because they'll have a guy who loves to throw the ball to the other team and doesn't know which side of the earth the sun rises and sets and is just an absolute fucking medium pizza. I think that this conspiracy goes all the way back to was there a shady person in the corner that was making the Goff family take their son to Pizza Hut buffets, just feed him a lot of different medium pizzas so as to infest him with medium pizza? So he slowly became part human, part medium pizza? Oh, Lions fans, I think we've gotten to the bottom of it. It went awry when he got drafted by the Rams. Why would the Rams draft a kid out of Cal who didn't even play that well in college and had like a 500 record in the Pac-12? Well, the NFL conspiracy didn't count on Jeff Fisher existing. They went out and they got Jared Goff and they're like, how the fuck are we going to do this? How are we going to get him from the Rams to the Lions so that he can assure that they never win the Super Bowl? Your quarterback sucks. It's not a conspiracy. You have a terrible quarterback.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what these people are saying. It's so funny though. Again, he looked nice with a good offensive coordinator, but we all knew this, and I think that'll probably be a theme for us this episode, as it always is. Guys, the playoffs. This is why Mahomes is Mahomes. He doesn't turn the ball over. Jared Goff does. Lamar Jackson, I like you. I've stuck up for you. You had 2 turnovers, dude. No, it's a team loss, and I'm sure we'll hop into that. It's like a team loss, and obviously Andrews is a turnover. Andrews has a drop, but you're the quarterback. You can't turn it over and expect to win twice, especially twice.
I tweeted it the other day too. In the history of the NFL, Andy. In the history of the NFL, can you think of a single team that gave up 45 points at home in a playoff game and could be described as gritty?
I love it.
No. Any? Can you think of any?
It's literally...
It's smoke and mirrors, guys.
The opposite of grit.
This is what, Andy, this is why I didn't like it when all of a sudden you came out with your Miller Lite 6-pack of picks and you said, Lions don't win a fucking playoff game. Because I was consistent the whole time. I go, oh, who's going to beat him? I don't know. Dan Campbell. Remember last year when he single-handedly coached him out of a playoff game? Fuck you, Brano. He didn't do that. Oh, if they're so desperate. Yeah, see you in New Orleans. Give up 45 points at home.
Well, they're going to say it's because they have backups. which definitely matters.
cool.
Like
Right.
injuries matter, but
But it's the NFL.
it is the NFL.
They didn't lose their ace pitcher going into the World Series. They didn't lose their fucking starting point guard going into the NFL. You lost some guys on the defensive side of the ball in the NFL. It's the NFL.
One thing I want to bring up about the Commanders that I haven't really seen. It's been talked about, but not to the length that I think it should, because the overall theme of ownership, because ownership matters. It matters. We talk about it matters who runs your team. A new guy. We saw who had it before. Mr. living on my private yacht because I'm doing some shady, illegal Jeffrey Epstein type shit. Snyder. And then he sells the team. They draft Jaden Daniels. It matters. And the reason I'm bringing this up, look at the Lions, dude. You're the Bengals. You're the Bears. These teams who have just bloodline ownership that have stunk for centuries.
And how about this though?
Decades,
You
not
want
centuries.
to talk about fucking ownership? I believe the stat is since 2010. I believe the stat is since 2010. Every single NFC team has appeared in the NFC Championship game.
But the Cowboys,
who haven't been there since 1995.
Is it 2010?
I think it's 2010, Andy.
I thought it was since 90. I thought it was okay.
I think it's 2010.
Now that the Commanders made it. That's insane. Yeah, ownership matters, man. Ownership matters. So when I'm doing my deep dives,
but you know what matters more? Your quarterback.
It does. And that's why. What was the thing I sent you real quick that I wanted to share with everybody? I don't think I put it down in the I didn't put it in the rundown. This is a wild stat I saw on Friday. I sent this to Prano because you just said your quarterback. Patrick Mahomes is the only quarterback. Here's a wild stat for you guys. The only QB taken in the last 12 drafts to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So all these Super Bowls, either like an older guy, like a Brady, obviously was taken before the last 12 drafts, or even like a Nick Foles or whoever you can dig up. So in the last 12 drafts, nobody's won a Super Bowl but Patrick Mahomes. Nobody. He's that much better. Sorry, he is. And he's not going anywhere. That's why the Jaden Daniels thing is great, because you're like, oh, can the NFC, I know you don't want to hear this, the Giants fan was like, can the NFC have a stud guy like that? Because the NFC at this point is kind of up for grabs in the QB conversation. It matters. And Lions fans, I hate to say this, but like Mr. Grit, when both guys are hot, when his top assistants are hired, we'll see how much that grit matters next year.
Also, let's say let's say Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. Ben Johnson shows up to Chicago, walks into the facility. No one tries to bite his kneecaps. Aaron Glenn goes to the Jets, walks in. No one's there going, and they just immediately both go, this was a big mistake. We are meant to be Dan Campbell assistants. And they take off their fucking jerseys. They take off their warm-up jackets like they're the fucking team in Rudy. And they place them on the owner's desk. And they're like, this one's for Coach Grit. And they turn and they walk back to Detroit. They're like, I can't fly. I need to show Dan nothing is important as being a part of the team. I'm going to walk it back from Chicago. Show him I've got grit. Cool. You're also starting next year with Jared Goff. You're not winning the Super Bowl. Cool story. You literally have Sean McVay as your offensive coordinator. You're not winning the Super Bowl. Literally have Bill Parcells as your defensive coordinator. You're not winning the Super Bowl. You're not winning the Super Bowl because your quarterback isn't good. The end. Hate to fucking pull out the crystal ball, Detroit Lions fans, but you shouldn't get your hopes up next year. You're not winning the Super Bowl. Your quarterback fucking stinks. He's not good enough to play against playoff defenses. The Commanders don't even have a good defense.
Their D is shoddy. It's not that good.
You're not winning the Super Bowl with Jared Goff, a quarterback. You're not going to do it. Can win with him.
Yeah, I agree, man.
If Aiden Hutchinson had been there, maybe on some of those passes, he could have gotten his hands up and tipped Jared Goff's balls so that they couldn't be intercepted.
Look, man, we all know. I was for a minute. I was rooting for the Lions. Like I'm not gonna hide it. I was rooting for them. I have given Dan Campbell credit for, like I said, letting the guys call the plays on both sides of the ball. But when those guys leave, that's my point. Like, what are you?
I don't know, Andy. They lost. They didn't win a playoff game this year. They lost in the divisional round.
That's what I'm saying.
So what are you now?
I don't know.
You're a Jared Goff quarterback football team.
Yeah.
Jared Goff is not even qualified to stand on Dan Campbell's front yard and throw footballs at guys trying to rob him while Dan Campbell runs wind sprints at the practice facility.
Tell you what, man. It is funny how we see somebody like Jared Goff on Hard Knocks and he doesn't know where the sun sets. And 7-8 years later, we're like, I kind of knew who you were. Nothing changed.
Listen, the fucking all that we joke about how dumb he is. He's just not that good of a QB. He's a guy that can throw the ball to wide open receivers. That's who he was with the Rams. When you get the trick play, you spring him, and we'll go into the fucking work. I can't wait to talk Eagles.
Let's do it.
I can't wait to fucking talk Eagles. Jalen Hurts. I mean, if you watch that game, they literally don't let him. And guess what? Maybe they watched the Lions game. And they were like, nah, Jalen Hurts is Jared Goff. Maybe he just is not allowed to throw the ball to wide receivers. You're not allowed to throw the ball to receivers. You're allowed to bootleg out and dump balls off to Dallas Goedert. You're allowed to throw swing passes to Saquon Barkley. You're not allowed. Jalen, look at me right now. You're 100% not allowed to throw the ball in the middle of the field at all to anybody. You're not allowed to throw the ball in the middle of the field to anybody at all, ever. Never, never, never are you allowed to throw the ball. Rule number 1 of our offense: do not throw the ball to the middle of the field ever. He's like, okay, got it. He's like, can I throw the ball to receivers? Yeah, if they're like running toward the sideline or running up the sideline. And then honestly, try to throw the ball out of bounds and maybe they'll catch it and like somehow bring it back in. Otherwise, a lot of dumps to Goddard if he's wide open. A lot of swing passes. I have never seen a quarterback play worse and win games in the playoffs. Did you see the fucking? I mean, I tweeted it today. The Eagles fans crying into their fucking hoagie, screaming, "Eli was carried to 2 Super Bowls." The quarterbacks who have thrown for under 200 yards in home playoff wins, Jalen Hurts is the list. It's fucking Blake Bortles, a bunch of Jalen Hurts, a Josh Allen in there, and fucking a Tom Brady in there. Jalen Hurts is the whole list.
Yeah, I'm looking right now.
If that game isn't played in the snow, they already lost.
Well, look, I'm gonna play devil's advocate on this. No, not with Jalen Hurts, but just, and maybe this is exactly what you're saying. So I'm not playing devil's advocate, but like it's working. Like, why would you not just run with Saquon when? Look, I don't think you and I both picked the Rams to win because we thought they could keep him in check. He lit him up twice this year. But my point is, Saquon obviously wins them that game, and obviously their D plays well too. But I'm saying, like, isn't that smart from the Eagles?
Yeah.
Hey, let's. Hey, we're winning games.
No doubt about it. Also, and this is why, Lions fans go, just say you hate our team. It's like, I don't hate your team. I just have an opinion on your player, and you guys are fans. So you've convinced yourself that what you're seeing isn't true. You've convinced yourself that, why do you hate us? Because you have convinced yourself that you're going to win the next 10 Super Bowls with Jared Goff. And I know Jared Goff isn't good. And you're yelling at me about it. Meanwhile, I'm just coming here and telling you what I think and what I see. I still believe that even in a year where Josh Allen didn't throw for that many yards yesterday, Lamar Jackson didn't have like that crazy stat line. They're playing, it's cold weather games, and it's going to be in Arrowhead, and it's going to be in Philly, and it's going to be in whatever. I still believe in the Super Bowl, you're going to be indoors. It's a double. I still believe this is a quarterback league. I still believe the reason that the Washington Commanders make a leap this year is because they have Jaden Daniels. I still believe the reason Josh Allen and the Bills beat the Ravens is they had the slightly better quarterback who didn't turn the ball over twice. I still believe that the reason the Chiefs are the team to beat is because they have Patrick Mahomes and you don't. And so guess what? Do I hate Philadelphia Eagles fans more than I hate fucking anything on planet Earth? Yes. Do I give you the least chance to win the Super Bowl because I hate your fans? No. I give you the least chance to win the Super Bowl because I think your quarterback, I think it goes Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels, 10 miles of shit, and then Jalen Hurts. I think he's the worst quarterback left in the playoffs by a larger measurement than I can fucking fathom. I have had to deal with fucking Vikings fans and their love of Kirk Cousins. I've had to deal with fucking Seahawks fans and their love of Russell Wilson. I've had to deal with all the fans, all the things. Jalen Hurts is fucking mediocre. His coach does not let him throw the ball to receivers. And I believe that even in a year where you have Saquon Barkley and you have a great defense, this is a quarterback league, and at some point you get the ball down a couple points, and you got to take that ball and you got to throw some passes into fucking traffic, and you got to make some plays happen, and you're either Jared Goff or you're Patrick Mahomes. You're either fucking, Josh Allen or you're Russell Wilson or your Kirk Cousins or your whatever. And Jalen Hurts ain't it. His coach doesn't think so. They have Devontae Smith. They have A.J. Brown, and they don't throw the ball to receivers. We talk about Joe Burrow and Jamar and fucking who's your other guy? T. Higgins. And what is he without those guys? And can he do it with that? They don't even trust Jalen Hurts to throw it to his version of them. He took 6 sacks because he's afraid to throw the ball into a space where a defender exists. If Saquon Barkley didn't go for 75 yards every third carry, they'd have 7 wins.
Like an early sneak peek, are you picking the Commanders
to win the game?
Yeah.
Probably. But you know what? Once again, and I you can fucking cry about it. I'm not crying about. I don't give a shit. I know you guys aren't going to win the Super Bowl because you have the worst quarterback left, but I believe the Rams win that game if it weren't being played in a blizzard.
Well,
But it was.
But it was, and we go back to turnovers.
Sure. Absolutely.
They turn the ball over.
Yep.
Costly fumbles.
Yep. But if this game isn't played in a blizzard, yeah, I do because here's the thing. I like the Commanders to score 27 points or whatever, not 45 that they did. And I don't think the way they're playing that the Eagles can get by not throwing the ball to covered receivers. I bet I was on this case with Goff and the Rams. I was on this case with Goff and the Lions. I was on this case with Brock Purdy. I was on this case. How many times am I going to do this? They don't even do the Kirk Cousins. He throws the ball that only Justin Jefferson can make a play on. He doesn't even throw the ball to A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith. He's throwing for 120 yards every football game.
Like, who is their comparison for this? Are you thinking early? But even early Russ was throwing. I'm saying where you have a defense, you have a stud running back. Your quarterback's not going to turn the ball over. Hurts isn't turning the ball over in these wins. Is there I'm just trying to. I always try to do comparisons of somebody we've seen before.
Yeah, I mean, maybe early Russ, but I actually think Russ is a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. And I'm a Russ hater.
So you basically think coming into this game,
here's what I know.
You're gonna have to make some plays at some point with your arm.
Here's what I know. He's gonna have to make a play with his arm in the next 2 games. Because the thing is Washington doesn't have a great defense, so who knows which way it goes. And Philly does have a great defense, and Jaden Daniels is still a rookie. So am I picking them? Maybe. I'm going to see how I feel later on in the week. But one thing's for sure. I'm taking the AFC.
Yeah, I agree there. I totally agree there. I do hate to play the woulda, coulda, shoulda of the snow, but I also agree. It's it mattered. Especially when you have Saquon. It's the snow only is going to help that situation. I thought the Rams were going to pull it out, I'll be honest. When they drove in that final drive, I was like, they're gonna score and get an extra point, and they're going to win this fucking game. I mean, Philly's D's damn good, though. They get after it, man. I mean, if Jaden Daniels could win this and take to the Super Bowl, I believe no rookie QB has ever played in the Super Bowl. I'm pretty sure that's correct.
Interesting.
I think I saw that no rookie quarterback has ever led his team to the Super Bowl.
Roethlisberger was what, year 2?
Yeah.
And Mahomes was year 2.
Year 2. And again, Roethlisberger, he's one of the worst Super Bowl stats of all time.
Right.
As a winner. I mean, that was we talk about Jerome Bettis defense.
You talk about, yeah. That Roethlisberger Super Bowl was every single Jalen Hurts playoff win. By the way. He played great in the Super Bowl. He lost.
And I'd have to look into. I thought Hurts though had some nice games when they made the Super Bowl a couple years ago in the playoffs.
Nope.
You sure about that?
You sure about that?
I don't know. In my head, I was like, oh, he had some real nice games. Maybe I'm wrong. Wow, that's a shitty way for Notre Dame to lose. Holy shit! You hold him, you get the ball back to tie it. 3rd and 11, you give up. Am I ahead of you? They just gave up a bomb on wide open. 3rd and 11. That's game. All right, well, let's talk about the final game we haven't covered. The big hype game. Everybody was geeked for this one. Bills or Ravens.
I just want to do this for you, just since we're here. We got to have it. Jalen Hurts playoff game log.
Yeah, pull it up. Let me know.
So in 2021, he played one game. He had 258 yards passing, 1 TD, 2 picks.
Is that against the Bucks?
They lost. No, it's 2021. Super Bowl year, 3 playoff games.
Yeah, 2021. That was against the Bucks because that was against Brady. I believe that was at a home game.
Oh, okay, against the Bucks. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, 1 TD, 2 interceptions. In 2022, the year they went to the Super Bowl, he averaged 193 yards per game. Don't forget, he threw for like 340 something yards in the Super Bowl, right? So he averaged 193.
I didn't realize it was that bad. Okay.
Last year, one game, threw for 250 yards, lost. This year, he has 259 total yards in 2 games. I don't believe in a lot of things, just fucking sure thing, but I goddamn do believe that the NFL is a QB league. And Jaden Daniels, I mean, where do you put Jaden Daniels in the league as a quarterback right now? If you had to just go top, you don't have to think about it too hard, but you go top what?
I mean, he's top 6.
Okay, top 6. So we have 3 of the top 6 quarterbacks left, and then the 17th best quarterback. Yeah.
I mean, Jaden Daniels can really elevate himself again if you make it to a Super Bowl. Holy shit. So what do we do with these other guys in the last game? The Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson.
What do you mean?
We're talking, you just asked me, like, where we're putting some of these guys. Dude, here's the thing about Lamar. He knows it too. He said it the post game. Lamar had an amazing year. I was like, man, is he going to do it? Fine. Like, even I was like, you heard it. I was like,
listen,
what?
That was a fucking great football game.
It was a great game.
The snow, again, the turnovers.
Look, and he led them, to Lamar's credit, at the end. The drive at the end, he marches them right down. They don't get the 2-point conversions. He drops it. But again, dude, you had two costly turnovers.
Here's the one thing. I mean, listen, I'm sure it'll happen tomorrow. I'm convinced at this point, at least interns at some of the things watch this show. So this point hasn't been made yet because we got a little late go of it today. But I'm sure suddenly RG3 or whatever will figure it out tomorrow to make this point, or somebody else will make this point. I didn't hear anybody doing it today. Another Joe Prano. No one's talking about it. If he catches the ball, it's a tie game. It's a minute and whatever left. I think he's still losing regulation.
Well, I do too. It was about 1:33. I actually said that when we were watching the game in our hospital. I said, and I wanted it to. That's what I literally said. I said, I hope they drive down because I want it just for viewing pleasure. I said, I hope they tie this up. I hope they get the 2-point conversion. I said, because I want to see what Josh Allen does. And I actually said the exact same thing. I said, I think he's going to at least get them to field goal attempt. Yeah.
Well, here's
1:33.
I mean, I know anything's possible. Josh Allen drops back, the snap goes over his head, the ball gets stripped, he throws a pick, whatever. But I mean, I would say in my fucking opinion, you got a 40% chance, maybe even more. Like I'll say 55% chance they convert that to Buffalo wins in regulation. And then you got another 34.6% chance that you guys go to overtime, and then you got a 0.4 chance that something fucking happens and somehow the Ravens end up winning in regulation. But I mean, I think people are acting like, oh, they went for 2 when they were down 1 and Mark Andrews dropped. They were about to win the game. It was a walk-off. It was a walk-off homer, and he fell rounding third base and fell down a pothole and was never seen again and couldn't touch home plate. And so they were about to win, but then they lost. It's like, you were about to tie the game.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, again, it's fascinating to me that Lamar's the only QB to win 2 MVPs and never win a Super Bowl, let alone play in one.
Now, did Elway win a couple of MVPs prior to his late run in Super Bowl? I don't know. How many MVPs did Elway have? Did he even have a league MVP?
So does he even have one?
I don't know. I don't think so.
'87
League MVP.
Yeah.
So he had 1. That means I'm assuming that Dan Marino also only had 1?
Correct. He's about to win a third too, Lamar's. Guys, and here's my thing again about Lamar. I love watching the guy play. I think he's fantastic to watch play. You got 11 turnovers in 8 career playoff games. It's. I know some people are like, "Oh, the narrative of Lamar." That's a new thing of the narrative. You see it. Oh, the Lamar. What else could he have done? Not turn the ball over twice.
Well, and listen, the Andrews drop and the Andrews fumble
are huge.
Were massive.
It's a team game.
Massive.
Blame goes around for sure.
Forget the 2-point. Let's just take the 2-point conversion out of the equation. Okay. When you look at the game on paper, the Ravens gained the Bills significantly. Josh Allen had 127. Josh Allen's the only other guy on that list of horrific home win playoff games. It's just 14 different Jalen Hurtses and 1 Josh Allen from yesterday. So he didn't play great. They had their lead back. I forget the dude. What's their lead back's name again? I'm blanking on the Bills.
The Bills?
Yeah.
James Cook?
James Cook had 67 rushing yards or whatever. No one had a big game for them. So how did they win? Because the Ravens turned the ball over 3 times. That's it. Take the 2-point conversion out of it. They won because the Ravens turned the ball over 3 times. Yeah. 2 of those were Lamar Jackson. It was a 2-point game, but they gave up 14 points on Lamar turnovers.
And Lamar knows it. If you see his press conference, he knows it. He says it. He talks about how.
Also, if you're cold, why don't you have sleeves on? And if you're not cold, why don't you take the hood off your mouth? Why are you wearing a weird Under Armour hijab?
He always does that, by the way.
I know, but
it is weird. It's a little odd. Well, look.
I love how you go, it's a little odd. I'll come into my shed in the morning. It's 40 degrees out here with a snow hat on. You'll be like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? You're inside. Meanwhile, he's in short sleeve and underwear wearing the fucking Mike TV from Willy Wonka.
Oh, man. Yeah. Well, look, I love that stat. You not winning the Super Bowl. If you don't win the Super Bowl within the first 5 years of your coach, you never won it. Josh Allen's the last man standing for that in this playoffs. It's Josh Allen. And like you said, he didn't do anything amazing, but he didn't turn the ball over.
I listen. Lamar Jackson, like what Lamar Jackson did at the end of the game and driving them down to get a score is what I thought Lamar Jackson didn't necessarily have in him in a game of that magnitude against a team like the Bills with the defense in the snow, all the things. But also, you turn the ball over twice. Like, I'm not like, this isn't some Lamar Jackson hate game. Like, I don't think he played bad in any way, shape, or form, but it's the playoffs. And Josh Allen didn't turn the ball over 3 times.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, that's a good point. It's like, I'm not just sitting here. I'm not trying to dunk on Lamar because he had 2 turnovers. Because he's a great player. But like I don't know. I guess
And if Lamar Jackson was the quarterback of the Eagles, I think they would win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But also, Derrick Henry, what do you average? 5 and 1/3 yards a carry.
Give him the ball more.
They give him the ball 12 times or something like that.
But they did the same thing against the Chiefs, if I recall, last year in the AFC Championship. Like, you're the Ravens. You're built on an opportunistic defense and run the ball. And then that's a play action or some RPOs, whatever it is.
By the way, you wanted to talk about play action. I was watching the Rams-Eagles game yesterday, and I was like, what is with the play? Like, if they had gotten away from the play action and started running that no huddle, this is the other Joe Prano take that I've been screaming for 20 years. If you have a quarterback like Matt Stafford, I said it for Eli Manning forever. Here was the counterpoint that somebody made to me yesterday. I think it was Adam. I don't know who. I forget who it was, but or maybe it was Jay Moore, one of the comedians I was hanging out with. I said, I truly believe. I think the Giants would have had multiple more playoff runs with Eli Manning had they just gone bro, for the first half, hey, here's what we're gonna do. When we talk about these scripted drives, hey, here's what we're gonna do for the whole first half. You just run no huddle. Just like Rocky coming out southpaw style. When you have one of those quarterbacks, you have a Matt Stafford type. If they had just run, even in the snow, the Rams win that game if Matthew Stafford runs no huddle for the second half. You don't let the Eagles get their guys fucking rotated in and out. You don't let them substitute. You don't let him do all their different packs. Just run no huddle. And the counterpoint, whoever I was talking to was like, and the offense coordinator just has no job. It's like, yeah. Because guess what? The fucking Rams offense coordinator isn't working today anyway. Don't you think he'd rather be working? I mean, I think McVay calls the plays, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Empower. You're a McVay. You empower. That should be something you're sitting in your back pocket. I mean, the Bills went to 4 Super Bowls just being like, hey, we're going to just run no huddle. And teams were like, oh, we don't know what to do. That's 30 years ago, dude.
Yeah.
35 years ago.
That's pretty crazy.
35 years ago, the Bills broke defenses to the tune of 4 straight Super Bowls. Ever since, everybody's like, yeah, but we like our offensive coordinator feel like he's doing something around here.
Yeah. No, I feel you, man. I couldn't agree more. I want to get to a call. Can we get to a call? We'll keep it a little shorter today.
So MJ has been alive for 1 day and is already celebrating a college national championship. Feels weird. Feels undeserved. Some people waited their whole lives for this.
She's been alive 2.5 days.
Okay.
Technically.
All right.
Well, not to be exact. 8:49 a.m. Saturday.
8:49 a.m. Saturday. Okay.
Yeah. By the way, C-sections is gruesome, bros. I've been through 2 of them. That shit is
gruesome, bro.
That shit is gruesome. Yeah, I am, as you guys can probably see, I'm a little low on energy, Luckily, I do. You alluded to it earlier in the show. I got my magic mind, Joe. I got my magic mind. I got right here. I got the sleep performance, which I definitely need. Need to get me some sleep. I know you love the sleep performance shot. We also have the productivity performance shot, which I'll take tomorrow when I wake up.
Listen, I don't know if the good folks at Magic Mind tune in to hear our ads or not. But if you guys are listening, I'm already out of the sleep shots. I need more sleep shots. I'll buy them if I got to. Listen to me, dirtballs. You should buy them because you have no chance of getting them free. I'm going to give them 72 hours to get back to me. And if I don't hear from you guys, I'll buy them. But my God, I'm in love with the sleep shot.
Uprano loves the sleep shot. This is for real.
I love the sleep shot. I'm not only do I love the sleep shot, it's made me appreciate the what's the other one called? The concentration shot, the focus shot.
It's
the green, the performance shot. It's made me appreciate those even. I now have a regimen. I go, last thing I do before I go to bed is take the sleep shot. First thing I do in the morning is take the performance shot just to get up and get coffee. I love Magic Mind. This is true and honest. I'm now like a devout Magic Mind stan. They had me, they were like reeling me in. But when I tried those sleep shots, they set the hook. Now I'm just a marlin they've pulled up on the boat. I'm obsessed. And guys, I could not be a bigger advocate if you have trouble winding down at the end of the day, or if you don't sleep well through the night. Dude, you guys got to get on it.
Well, I got it on the screen right now. We got the combo deal. The performance shot, the sleep shot. Get 45% off the Magic Mind bundle. That's what we got. The bundle with our link. You got it right there, guys.
I'm about to use our own promo code for the first time on any product.
magicmind.com/DSPJAN. That's JAN. So again, that's magicmind.com/DSPJAN. That description or that link will be in the description of the episode as well. Yeah.
That's magicmind.com/DS like Dirty Sports, PJ like Pearl Jam, AN. I need a magic sleep shot. I can't sleep anymore. I was too much thinking about what's going to happen in this country and what other major buildings in New York City are going to be taken down by the Bush family. I stay up at night going 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. I can't sleep tonight without Magic Mind. But then I get that sleep shot and it's good night, nighty night.
It's always good when you can work in an Eddie Vedder mixed with Shaquille O'Neal and do an ad read. Because that's what that sounded like right there, bro. You got to mesh the two. That's great. All right, let's do a quick call. Again, hotline 310-359-8365. This is a follow-up to about the bandwagon, Jesus. The bandwagon and the fandom call. And they assess where I'm at.
Hey boys, Brian Heinrich calling in, and after listening to that fan call last week about bandwagon fans, I had some thoughts on like what Ruther is. Like, I like the call, and he had like a really good distinction point, but like Joe said, like I think that is like a subset of bandwagon fans. Like the real distinction is bandwagon fans, player fans. Andy isn't a bandwagon, he's a player fan. Like, I know a guy who's like that for football. He used to really like Cam Newton. Wasn't delusional about it, just liked him from a stance of he's just really fun to watch. So at the time, he'd say he's a Panthers fan. When Cam Newton fell off, he decided he really liked Justin Herbert, so he started rooting for the Chargers. But he never claims, I've been a Chargers fan for life or blah, 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 or whatever. Like, no. If you ask him who his team is, he'll say, I like Justin Herbert, so I root for the Chargers. That's totally fine. He likes LeBron, so he roots for the Lakers, but isn't some, man, I remember when Kobe won us those chips. Like, no. Like, Andy was never a Patriots fan. He was a Bill and Brady fan, and that's fine. As long as you're upfront about, hey, I'm only here for these guys, totally cool. Like, I will probably be like that soon, because I will abandon the fucking Bears if they pick Mike goddamn McCarthy as their coach. But Anyways, condoms are for Big Cat. I always hated his takes. Thought he was a shitty representative of our fan base, and now I hear he never even was one. Pathetic.
Well, good
Hey
news.
boys, Brian Heinrich calling in, and after listening to that fan call last week.
All right.
I've always liked Brian Heinrich. Good guy.
For sure.
And listen, I have no ill will toward your Bears. So I hope the Bears turn around. The Bears are one of those teams where it's like the league's better when the Bears are good. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So I hope Ben Johnson works out. But let's make one thing clear. Like, whether Ben Johnson works out in the long run or doesn't work out in the long run, you know, he worked out in the short run because he was on steroids when he won that gold medal for the Canadian Olympic team. That's a little Ben Johnson reference no one else is going to get. That's a soul Olympics deep nug.
In 1988?
I think so. Right?
I feel like it was later.
92.
92 is Barcelona. 96 Atlanta.
Yeah, it wasn't 96. It was 88, 92. One or the other. Ben Johnson, Olympic sprinter on the juice. Anyway. This is, when he was talking about that, about the fandom and the players fan, I realized something. You and I are not that far apart in age. You're what? 3 years younger than me?
It's like 2.5. I'm
2.5.
43. Yeah.
You're like, you were born in what? 81?
November 81.
November 81. So you're basically Mikey's age.
Yeah.
But there is and it's weird because like I am very much on the cusp of millennial and Gen X, and you're on the other side of that cusp. But that is the divide. Gen Xers are not like players fans. Like I root for teams. I root for LeBron, but I'm not like, I've never been. You hear that a lot. That was like a thing that happened with millennials. Like, oh, I'm just a fan of this guy. And I'm like, oh, how'd you become a Sixers fan? Like, oh, I just grew up watching Iverson. So I was a Sixers fan. It's like, I grew up liking Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. I even liked Michael Jordan as a kid. I like this guy. I like that guy. I like Montana and Rice. That was like my favorite, but like still a fan of my hometown. That's the generational divide, sports divide. Only millennials started being like, oh yeah, this has been a Cavs fan ever since Kyrie got drafted there. You're like, what?
Well, it's weird. Like people want to watch good players. They want to watch dynamic players. So, and that's, I guess, the definition of bandwagon. When you see those things, but like, yeah, man. I mean, I didn't hide it. It's like, I was rooting for the Bucks when then Brady went to the Bucks. It's just like, it just was how it was. Like, I'll root for guys that I like. Like, I really, I mean, obviously we talked a lot about it. Like, I really like watching Jaden Daniels play. It's like, yeah. Like we were in the hospital and I was like, she couldn't get over. She's like, you root for the Commanders? I go, I love watching this guy play.
Yeah.
Look at his counterparts. Jared fucking Goff. Yeah, I'm rooting for the Commanders. Oh, I thought you turned the leaf on the Lions. I did in a lot of ways, but I love watching a great quarterback just dissect the defense. So I'm rooting for the Commanders this game. Whereas, I'll be honest, that Ravens-Bills game, I was like legit torn. I was like, I told you, I straight up was like, I want to see a tie game. I want to see Josh. Get the ball.
Listen, I'm that way. Didn't I say that? Didn't I say that going into last weekend? I said I wanted to see all good football games.
Yeah.
Except for Eagles, Rams, which ended up being a very good football game. I mean, sloppily, but like good. But even the Commanders Lions, like I liked how much scoring there was.
Me too. It was fun to watch.
It was a fun game to watch.
Even like the bad turnovers were fun.
Yeah. The least fun game of the weekend was Chiefs Texans because the Texans fucking scored 12 points.
100%. The refs did everything for them to get them the W. The refs forced a 75-yard kickoff return to start the game. The refs forced that kicker to miss 4 points, 4 gimme points. And you know, I want to say one last thing about that, actually. I think there's something to be said when you're that good of a team that other teams make mistakes because they know psychologically they can't make mistakes against great teams. The unforced errors. I think there is something to that psychologically when you're playing an all-time great team. Whether it's the Bulls, the Patriots, the Chiefs. I mean, you pick Lakers in the back in the day, the Celtics. It's like, it's real. All right, 310-359-8365. That's a hotline. I need to attempt to get some sleep here.
Well, I just want to say that as a representative of the Dirty Sports community, we just want to congratulate you, Andy. This is exciting stuff. Another Ruther girl up in the mix. So we'll take it whenever we can get it. We know that she'll be in daycare in 4 to 6 days, and and life will free up. But we hope that you can make it through the next 96 hours before you put her on Isla's backpack like she's Yoda. And
I gotta share something Isla said today. She met her yesterday. And you know how it is. You're fucking. Isla's not even. She turns 2 next month. She's not even 2, and suddenly you got competition. She walked in and Molly was in a swing today. I picked her up from daycare and Isla walked in and she walked over and looked at her and just goes, "I don't like it." I don't like it.
That's amazing.
Now she warmed up, but I was just like, man, we got some work to do. I don't like it. I said, well, first of all, it's your sister.
Yeah. It's not it. It's a her.
Yeah, it's a girl.
And she is going to daycare with you on Friday. So fucking lock it up, kid.
You'll be checking her into room 1 on your way to room 4. Figure it out. Dad's just dropping you guys off. I know it's 12 degrees out here, but damn, that's funny. I appreciate it, Prano. That's funny.
Speaking of Friday, I'll be up in the Central Coast of California for a couple Don't Tell shows this Friday, Saturday. I will be doing Don't Tell. So if you go to Don't Tell, San Luis Obispo, I don't know if you guys know how Don't Tells work, but you sign up. They'll tell you the city. You buy tickets. You're not supposed to know who's on, but I am. And then next week, Bozeman, Montana, Last Best Comedy on Friday, January 31st. So stoked. I've never been. I can honestly say I don't know that I've been this excited for a stand-up trip in a while. Great club, great people there. Gonna do some skiing, gonna do some snowboarding, bringing the fiance. Haven't been on the road much since I started producing all these podcasts. So if you're in Montana or in neighboring states, because people in Big Sky Country just get in the car and drive like 12 hours, they don't give a shit. Come down to Last Best Comedy, Bozeman, Montana, January 31st. 2 shows, 7 and 9. Hope to see some of you guys there. And New J Moore podcast tomorrow with Dustin Hilbala. Check that out.
Cool. All right, guys, that's the show. Thanks for sticking with us. And we'll be back on Friday. Have a great week. And as always, stay dirty.